Hey, this is Nicole with Lobatica's Closet. I am basically doing a little video because I wanted to talk about doing taxes. So I was doing my taxes and my first year in business, I didn't lose money, which is good, but I didn't really make money either. But I did sell quite a bit, and I think what I learned from it is I've got all this wonderful data about what sold, how quickly it sold, where it sold to, from multiple different platforms, and I've now going to shift my focus onto the things that for me sold the best. And so I'm going to actually get out of clothes. I find that the profit margin on clothes isn't nearly enough for all the time I spend sourcing them, cleaning them, measuring them, and then dealing with the fussiness sometimes of people. For example, just recently, and this is how it always goes with the cheap items. If you're a reseller, you know what I'm talking about. The expensive items, the person just buys it, sometimes not even asking for a discount, and hardly talks about it at all. And then the people that are buying like the $14 thing want to talk to you about it forever. Then that's your first clue. They're like, oh God, they're fussy. Like this lady started out by going, oh, I'm interested in this dress, but I need to know if it's from a smoking home. And I'm like, no, I don't smoke. There's no smoke here. No worries. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm not sure. Could you please measure the bust for me? And I was like, yeah, that's no problem. 20 inches. And so it's an extra large dress, but it's a junior's dress. And on Mercari, you have to put it as extra large. So I gave her the measurement for 20 inches, and she said, oh yeah, I'm going to buy it, but I'm not going to buy it on this account. I'm going to buy it on my other account. Well, you're not supposed to have more than one account. So I don't know what that's about. So anyway, then she contacts me on her other account and she makes me the offer. Or first she just says, hey, here I am. And I'm like, okay, go ahead and make the offer. Because if I already made her the offer on the other account, so that means the next offer would have to be even lower, and I already offered her the lowest I was willing to go. So already there's all this tension. So if you're reselling and you're already noticing weird things like, oh, this person's got an extra account, oh, this person's asking a lot of questions. Questions are fine, but it's revealing the fussiness and the nature of how this whole thing's going to go. So this person has this energy about them. So she's already dissatisfied before she's even bought it. And I mean, in the past, when I've kind of gotten this vibe off of people, I just straight out either delete the item or I might block that person, which I know it seems extreme, but I am not shy to block someone because I just don't want them to have a bad time with something, or for me. And if I think that they're a very fussy, complaining person, or that they're going to find some kind of beef with it, I just rather not participate in that. I think my items are really great. I think I described them very well. But in this case, the woman buys it. I tell her it's 20 inches. She receives it. She says, oh, the straps here have been altered. And I was like, oh, I didn't notice that. Okay, I'm sorry. What do you want to have happen with this? And she's like, I want a partial refund. And I was like, well, I can't really do that. The Mercari, as far as I know, and I've looked, I can't issue you a partial refund. So either you can return it, you can start a return, or I can give you a discount on a different item. And she said, oh, I'll look in your closet. You have a lot of stuff and I like your stuff. So I'm gonna look in your closet. And she emails me or messages me about a dress that's a size 3X. She bought a size extra large, and now she's asking me about the 3X. She wants the measurements of it. She tells me that her bust needs to have at least 23 to 25 inches. So I said, whoa, like all of a sudden in my mind, I'm like, whoa, okay, I am not Inspector Clouseau or Inspector Gadget here, but when she asked me the measurements of the bust the first time and I told her 20 inches and she bought the dress, and then this has been altered, you didn't mention it had been altered. Well, I didn't know if it has or hasn't, but what I do know is that if she's telling me that she can only fit a 23 to 25 inch bust, then she shouldn't have ordered a dress that's a size 20-inch bust in the first place. So I kind of was getting the intuitive impression that this woman bought a dress and it didn't fit, so she's tried to pick on some aspect of it. As far as used goods go, typically you can't return things for fit. That's why people put measurements and why you're supposed to ask. Now, she does have a point that maybe if it's altered, that she might have some type of a beef, but again, people that buy pants and all kinds of stuff, it could be altered. And typically, if you're getting measurements, that's to be considered. I didn't catch that it had been altered. I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. But even if it had been altered, that's one of those things where I'd be iffy about. If she hadn't told me her bust was 23 to 25 inches, I probably would have just went through with the refund without a problem, because I'm like, whatever, this is a $17 dress. But there's something about it where I was like, okay, this lady. Oh, and she also mentioned to me about how she had some surgery and a death in the family. Like, this just is bringing back memories from eBay when people would check out, not buy something, and then come back a week later. Oh, I had to send my son's corpse, to be buried because he was in the military, or some wild story. You're like, just like, yeah, no, like, I just don't believe this. To me, it's what I call word salad. And I try to be compassionate, but I'm just like, you having all these issues going on in your life doesn't have to do with this dress fitting or not being altered or not. So I mean, I've got stuff going on in my life. I'm not like trying to make excuses. Oh, I was in a car accident or whatever. So anyway, so this is kind of like what she was saying, is that someone had folded it over and resewn it or something like that. I didn't notice it. Like I said, I would just do the return as normal, but it was so weird. She was trying to pick through my closet. She also looked at a shirt. She wanted me to do all these measurements of these things and then wanted a big discount. So that's why it just was off-putting. If you don't like something, you just reject it and return it. And then I mentioned to her, I go, well, the things that you are interested in have a much different measurement than the dress, so I'm sorry if the dress didn't fit or you didn't like it, but typically we don't do, any used goods don't do a return because of fit. And she's like, it fit me just fine. I'm very busty and I don't want anything that's too tight on my bust. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then she took it very personal, and it, she told me I was hostile towards her. I'm not being hostile. I really don't care. I just start the return. I told her, just start a return. And she thought I was being mean. And I'm like, look, if I was trying to be mean, I wouldn't have told you to do that. Because if I was like a jerk, I would not say anything and wait for the time to lapse. Because if on Mercari, if you don't start a case or rate the person after 3 days, it automatically just pays you, and then that person's out the money. I didn't do that to her. I think we were sitting on, like, I think it was day 2. Like, I could have just ignored her for a day if I was a jerk, but I don't want to be a jerk. Like, I want people to be happy, and that's probably why I have such good ratings. I have like 180 something ratings, like 5-star and a few 4 stars, but nothing below 4 stars, because I care that people like the thing. It's just the whole situation. Anyway, this is a long story that should have been much shorter. I'm sorry. But the point of it is that it was the last straw for me about selling clothes. After fees, after I cleaned it, after I sourced it, and after I account for all of that, making like $5 on something and then having to deal with a lady telling me her personal life, arguing with me, getting all bent out of shape over something that isn't even $20. I just don't have the capacity for it anymore. I just want to sell nice purses like Michael Kors and wallets and accessories and jewelry and things that don't have to fit people. That would be my big thing. If you want to take any advice from this, is steer clear of clothes. And because people will complain. People will complain because they don't fit, and that's not your problem if they don't fit. Even if you measure, I even put measurements before for pants and people complain and say they don't fit. There's no way this is a size 10. And I'm like, I'm like, it says it's a size 10 on it, and I measured it. So the measurements are so you can check it against your pants. Well, they don't like that answer. Well, I bought a different pair of Michael Kors pants, and those Michael Kors pants were a size 10 and those fit. So I didn't think I had to check the measurements. So you get a lot of that kind of stuff. Or I also have had people, I swear, reselling, there's so many stories. I've actually had people that are like, they'll like, it's like a size 8 shoe, and they'll be like, I'm actually a size 10. Do you think these size 8 shoes will fit? And I'm like, no, because you're a size 10 and these are a size 8. It's, that happens so many times. I mean, at least 6 times in the last year or so, maybe, because I started selling a half a year before this, but I wasn't doing it as my business yet. I was doing it as my personal. But I've had my account for a while, but I just didn't do much with it until the last year and a half, 2 years. Anyway, through the years, you know, people will just say some weird things. Like at Christmas, I was selling ice skates for my mom, and this woman was like, these ice skates, you say that they're a size 7. I'm a size 8. Do you think they'll fit? And I'm like, no. I think that if you're a size 8, you have to go up a size, because ice skates, you can't buy the right size for your foot. And the ice skate, you have to leave room for the socks. So she got mixed up and thought you were supposed to go down a size or something. And I had to chat with her about it. Like she kept going back and forth with me and got all upset. Like she thought I was saying she was stupid or something. And I was just like, no, you have to leave room for the socks. Like you have to wear 2 pairs of socks. Ice skaters wear 2. Well, anyway, this happens so much. People don't know their size. They want, people will ask you what their size is. I mean, people will ask you what the fit is, and you're like, well, I'm a reseller, so I'm not wearing this, so I don't know what the fit is. Like, I can tell you the measurements. So again, it'd be great for me. What my goal is to get away from anything that has to fit. Anything that has to fit. See, jewelry, a ring has to fit, but people have more than one size finger. Earrings fit everyone. Scarves fit everyone. Wallets, purses, accessories fit everyone. So that's my focus, and that's my tip for you if you're new to selling. You know, focus, or, you know, if you don't want to sell clothes or fashion at all, things like lotion, nail polish wraps, things like that. I think that that's a much better thing, because you can have 100,000 people looking at your listing or your whole closet, but if they aren't a size 8 shoe, and you've got, let's say you've got 10 size 8 shoes, all those 10 size 8 shoes aren't selling to those 100,000 people. They're only selling to the people that are size 8 that actually looked in your closet and then actually like the thing and actually want to pay that price. So anyway, hope that's helpful. Okay, see ya.